Hi, I'm Attorney Virginia Hunt. I'm going to explain the Permanent Partial Disability Award under Nevada Workers' Compensation Law. Not all injured workers are entitled to a Permanent Partial Disability Award. That is the lump sum settlement that is awarded to injured workers with permanent injuries. So if you have an injury, you're in the hospital for a month, but you heal up 100%, then you're not going to be entitled to a settlement under Nevada Workers' Compensation Law, because workers' comp does not award for pain or suffering. It only awards for a permanent injury. And permanent injury is defined by this book. That is the AMA Guide to the Evaluation of Permanent Impairment. And Nevada uses the 5th edition currently. So once the treating physician checks the box that it's likely that you have a permanent impairment, and for many orthopedic injuries, for example, it would be loss of range of motion. If you had a shoulder injury, you had a surgery, you can only raise your arms so high. That would be some loss of range of motion that would constitute a permanent impairment. The rating physician uses the criteria in the book and comes up with a percentage that is expressed in terms of whole man. Another example would be loss of sight in one eye would be 23% of the whole person. So that information then goes back to the adjuster, who inserts that percentage into a statutory formula that uses your average monthly wage on the date of your injury and then your chronological age. The younger the injured worker, the greater the award. The more money the injured worker was making at the time of the accident, the greater the award. So you can have identical percentages of impairment for different injured workers, but their awards will be different because one is younger or one made a lot more money than the other. Under Nevada, it's for anatomical impairment. So, for example, if I were a piano player by occupation and I had an accident that resulted in an amputation of a finger, I would receive a certain percentage under the criteria of the guide. If I were an attorney and I am an attorney, and I had an accident which resulted in the amputation of the same finger, I would receive the same percentage of impairment. These impairments are not tied into your particular occupation. The piano player would get another group of benefits in addition to that award called vocational rehabilitation if she needed to be retrained to do some different type of occupation. But the important thing to remember is that the percentages of impairment would be the same.